I don't know the day that I became an alcoholic. I knew I was a heavy drinker.
I went to Vegas one time and a friend of mine brought some cocaine.
It was like doing a little bit of cocaine here, then all of a sudden it was more.
I was the last to find out that I had a problem. Everyone else around me knew.
I was spending my days drinking and using. My wife had it with me. She had filed for divorce. The house was up for sale.
When I was drinking, I isolated in my house because I didn't want people to see me in that condition.
I couldn't walk, not because I was inebriated, not because I was drunk or drugged, but simply because my body was shutting down.
Usually someone brings you into treatment. It's either your lawyer, your lover, or your liver, and mine was the lover.
Brought me into the emergency room, as I recall, and that's the first time I met Dr. Reedy.
I actually made the call to the New Day Center because of Dr. Reedy's reputation.
I can remember the first time that I heard his story to a group, and he got somewhat emotional.
Hearing Doctor tell his own story, if that isn't inspirational.
As I was growing up, I never knew who I was. My first time with alcohol was when I got drunk. We were spelunking in a cave down in Missouri, a couple buddies of mine and I, and we decided we're going to have a jolly good time, and so we all bought a fifth. And it was a disaster. I lost my contact lenses, I hit my head on the cave, we got attacked by bats, and the next morning we threw up, all day. But my feeling was, wow, I really liked that feeling that the alcohol gave me. I had to give a presentation to the other students, and I saw this ad in a magazine for Transine, and it said, short-acting sedative hypnotic medication to help with situational anxiety. And I thought, this is exactly what I need. It was fantastic. Everybody came up and said, Rich, that was a great talk and all that. And then I got back to my apartment, and I combined the alcohol with the pills, and I thought, wow. Eventually, you become a zombie. I was suffering from the M deity syndrome, which is the Almighty God syndrome. I thought that I had become bigger than life and that I answered to absolutely no one. By this time, I was up to about 70 Tylenol 4 with codeines every day. And I was chief resident, I really thought that he wanted to meet with me because he thought I was so fantastic and that I had done such a good job, and that perhaps they would want to take a picture of the two of us and put it in the lobby of the hospital. He said, we're going to have to let you go, because we don't know what's going on, and I didn't know what was going on. I was in shock. Here, I thought it was a photo op with the chairman, and here, all of a sudden, I'm 4 years of college, 4 years of medical school, 1 year of internship, 6 years of residency. And so I went back to my little apartment and I drank. What an excuse to drink. Man, I drank, that day and the next day and the next day and the next day and the next day. I was on the verge of suicide down around Phil Schmidt's Frog Leg Restaurant down in Whiting, Indiana. And I walked out into Lake Michigan one night and tried to drown myself. Something was holding me back, And at that time, I'm not sure what it was. And then another couple of days went by, and I was sitting in a drugstore reading Us magazine. There was an article about Doug Talbot, who used to be with the National Aeronautic and Space Administration. And it was a simple story about his problem with alcohol and drugs. That is the first time that I understood what the problem was. I did a 2-year fellowship in addiction medicine, and when I got out of it, ironically, The position opened at Hinsdale Hospital. I rode my bike over there and hid it under the emergency room steps and went up and interviewed, and then later found out I got the job.
You know, God's back in your life. You got a great family. You got a job where people like you and you like them. You're respected.
Recovering alcoholics can volunteer in any agency and show up. They are responsible at work. They no longer drink and drive. The community is safer.
I'm now trustworthy. My other niece and nephew, I was a couple of years sober, and we took them to the museums and the aquarium in the city. Those are all new experiences. After all, what parent, sane parent, right-thinking parent would entrust to, 6, 7, 8-year-old kids in the hands of the drunken uncle?
It's so rewarding. Seeing a broken human being come in. Some have lost their families, some have lost their careers, some have lost their jobs.
Through this program, which has given us so much and truly gave me my life back, we are able to work with other people who were in our situation and to help them and help guide them through it as other people help guide us through it.
As my mind started to clear and stuff, I eventually realized again that footprints in the sand thing wasn't some hallmark gimmick to make a lot of money, that there was a God up there who'd been carrying me for a long time.
I love recovery and the people in recovery. I was placed in a position to be able to receive what I needed to receive, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and have been given all that I need and so much more.